How to date after a toxic relationship. That's the topic. How to date after a toxic relationship. How to date after a toxic breakup. How to date after a toxic divorce. First of all, I'm sorry you've gone through that, but I hope you can still have this desire to date again. And I could see where it might be difficult, if not draining, if not confusing, to see if that's even possible to do that after such a toxic situation. I've heard a variety of different stories. Trust me, I've heard them all. But when you do find that light, that courage, that fire to date again, here are some steps I want to help you understand that are very beneficial, that are very healthy towards you before you start to date. If you haven't seen my other video on this topic, I want you to subscribe to my channel and check to the other video where I went over the first step, the first foundational step on how to date after a toxic breakup, relationship, or divorce. This one is the next step. And I want you to give yourself two things within this step to understand why it's important. Two things I want you to give yourself. Number one is time. Number two is forgiveness. Let's focus on the first one, time. Give yourself time after a toxic breakup. Give yourself time after a toxic divorce or relationship. Really understand that what you've gone through was very unfortunate, unhealthy, and just brought out maybe the worst of you. Dated the worst version of someone else. Unfortunate. Very, very saddening. But the point is, you need to give yourself time to grow from that, learn from that, detach from that, to heal from that. My first step in my other video was take care of yourself, which if you want to go check out that video, learn more and in the sense of what I'm talking about, that not just the obvious. But this one, give yourself time, as in don't rush from a toxic relationship into dating. Don't rush from a toxic breakup into dating apps. Give yourself time to when you actually do commit to taking care of yourself. You regroup, you recharge, you recover from wherever you've gone through to be more of who you are, and you're excited to be, working hard, and you're excited and motivated to be at the gym and with your friends and your family and some traveling trips. You're kind of back in your flow. You've taken care of yourself. Now give yourself more time before the dating world. Put yourself out there in social worlds. Groups, activities, classes, courses, traveling, exploring. Maybe you're not ready for that intimate one-on-one setting of a date or the dating app or the pressures of what you might think you put on yourself within dating scenarios. Maybe there's still some things you need to kind of heal and grow from the toxic scars. Give yourself time to commit to what you've been doing for yourself and taking care of yourself, bettering yourself. But give yourself more time to maybe put yourself in different situations than just the romantic scenario. Again, groups, activities, courses, classes. Do something more of a group scenario, group setting. Traveling is always a big one. Fitness groups are always another one. Courses and classes are always good. Compared to just throwing yourself in the party scene, the drinking scene, the picking up scene, the hooking up scene, the dating apps, the first dates. Maybe you're not ready yet. And if you're not ready, it's okay. I'd rather you be honest with yourself to give yourself more time so you're not overwhelmed. Let me elaborate. Taking time for yourself can be lonely, but you're not alone. And the temptation to jump right back into the dating pool might be overwhelming. Yeah, it would, especially if you have a toxic breakup, toxic relationship. Of course, we all want companionship, but what are you jumping into? Think about that. We as humans tend to gravitate to what we know because familiarity feels comfortable. So you kind of want to jump into something you're familiar with, good or bad. And I understand what you might be thinking. Well, why would I want to go back into a toxic relationship if I just got out of one? Well, you're familiar with certain things about it that got you there in the sense of what brought you there. And there's certain vulnerable things within yourself that maybe you're not aware of that does come out of you without even unintentionally being aware of it to attract someone to take advantage of you, a love bomber, a player, a ghoster. But what's familiar isn't always what's best for you. It's important to give yourself time to heal, grow, and learn from how did you go from someone pursuing you to getting you, to being with you, to dating you, to marrying you, to a relationship with you, and then you went through this whole toxic scenario, even if it was 3 months or 3 years, whole toxic scenario, and somehow you got out of it, somehow you left it, somehow you're just not a part of it, which is great. There's a lot of things that you're familiar with within that are good and bad that might resurface, that might come again. That's why you want to give yourself more time to heal and learn and grow from that. Okay, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm not gonna allow that again. I'm not gonna date that again. Give yourself more time. One of the best ways you can make more time for yourself is by focusing on deepening your self-love so that you're less likely to seek that energy from someone else. When you create your own happiness, you can move forward from a healthier space, armed with the skills you need to build a relationship that feels safe, loving, and supportive. People don't realize, again, I'm a certified life coach as well as a certified relationship coach, that this self-love that we talk about, it's so empowering. It's so helpful. It's so guaranteed within yourself to understand that dating is a skill. Relationship takes skill. And that's why I'm here to help if you need that skill, if you need help being challenged or informed or educated if you lack that skill. Because if you keep on having the same result with every situation or every relationship, then you're the common problem, common denominator in that. If you're scared or hesitant because you were through a toxic breakup, toxic situation, and you're just kind of feeling vulnerable or weak, not sure of yourself, send me a message. I'm here to help you out with that, to find those skills that find truth to you. And that's why the second part of what to give yourself is forgiveness. Give yourself forgiveness that you were in an unhealthy relationship. Give yourself forgiveness that you were with the wrong person. Give yourself forgiveness that you allowed certain things that aren't good for you in your past relationship. You have to understand to forgive yourself. Forgiveness is one of those words that carries a lot of weight. Sometimes we get caught up because we misconstrue forgiveness as accepting that what happened was somehow justified or okay. But forgiveness is actually a powerful way to help you heal and move on. It has nothing to do with your ex. Forgiveness has nothing to do with forgiving their ex. It has everything to do with forgiving yourself of making a mistake, of allowing something, harming yourself, judging yourself, self-destructing, sabotaging. We all make mistakes. One thing I talk about in my lives and one thing I talk about in my coaching calls is that I'm not here to judge anything you've said or done in your past or what you want to do, but I'm here to hold you accountable and challenge to better those things. We're not going to be dramatic about it. We're going to have some fun with it. We're going to bring some light to it because now the past is the past of the worst is gone, but we're going to focus on how to better yourself, how to grow from those past relationships, how to encourage the real you to really step up. Not the fearful you or the scared you or the weaker you. Forgiveness means letting go of the pain of the past and compassionately giving yourself permission to be happy by giving yourself time, by taking care of yourself. Everything on this topic is all in a chronological order, so forgiving yourself comes after giving yourself time, which comes after taking care of yourself. It's a process focused on you and your healing, and it doesn't need to involve anyone else. If you've been through a lot, it's natural to feel shame or blame yourself for not seeing the red flags. I've heard so many scenarios on that. They haven't taken the time to really see what they're made of or kind of test themselves or really grow to the person they want to be. They sometimes ignore these red flags, like almost like one of my favorite quotes, a complaint is you complaining to someone is an unknown complaint within yourself. You complaining to someone is an unknown complaint within yourself. And don't point out the obvious. What's the solution? Why are you around someone you're complaining about so much? It's an unknown complaint within yourself because you allow it. Low self-esteem. It's a very, very interesting way to look at things, but I'm telling you, it's more holding yourself responsible to your happiness compared to putting it on someone else. We can't always see the signs of an abusive or toxic relationship. We may not even know how to get out of it, or even even have the immediate ability to leave. Self-compassion can help you see the situation objectively and understand that the patterns you need to break. Not surprisingly, people who practice self-compassion cultivate healthier relationships. Counseling, coaching help you get there. Send me a message if you need any help, because I'm here to help you all, because I've been helped. Thank you very much. Take care.